Thunderation is the Arrow mine train at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. And this is a notable mine train for two reasons. One, it has a very unconventional layout on a hillside. Two, it is the fastest mine train that Arrow ever built. So on paper, this should be one of the best mine trains in the world. But is the execution flawed? In this video, I will be reviewing Thunderation. Arrow built 16 mine trains. 11 of them were built between 1966 and 1974. And interestingly, Arrow would not be asked to build another mine train over the next 14 years. Around the same time, Arrow developed a looping coaster, and this was all the rage in the amusement industry, so parks were contacting Arrow to build multi-loopers instead. Then, from 1988 to 1997, Arrow built their final 5 mine trains. Their later mine trains tended to have better pacing. Thunderation was one of these 5, as it opened in 1993. Thunderation was the first major roller coaster at Silver Dollar City. Until this point, the park's only roller coaster had been Fire in the Hole, which is more of a dark ride than a roller coaster. Thunderation is the closest roller coaster to Silver Dollar City's main entrance. Its entrance is actually adjacent to that of Time Traveler. Despite this, Thunderation doesn't really see a heavy rush of crowds at the start of the day. In fact, this ride is almost always a walk-on at all times of the day. The ride has definitely lost some of its luster with Silver Dollar City's newer coasters opening, but it also has a very high capacity with its 36-person trains and fast dispatches. Even if Thunderation has a modest wait, it actually is a pretty cool queue line. The coaster is lightly themed to mining, and the queue line takes you past some displays, caverns, and mine carts. As one of the newer mine trains, Thunderation has individual lap bars. The older ones had shared lap bars, not only for each row, but for each train. So it was rather uncomfortable if you were the largest rider in the train. The individual lap bars are much more comfortable for the taller guests, and more secure for smaller riders, so it's a win all around. And one cool thing this ride used to have were 2 backwards cars, but they were removed after the 2010 season. While I wish I could have experienced Thunderation in reverse, I have a theory why this may have been removed. Many of the early mine trains had extremely abrupt and jerky transitions. Thunderation, thankfully, does not have these. However, Thunderation is quite bumpy start to finish. It feels like the ride has square wheels, and the bumps become most notable on the high-speed sections, which you don't really have on the early mine trains, but Thunderation is Arrow's fastest mine train. Backwards coasters can be very unpleasant if they aren't smooth. The bumpiness is Thunderation's biggest flaw. The bumpiness is more pronounced the further back you are in the train, so I'd recommend riding up front. Plus, you get the superior visuals and a better overall sense of speed. Once dispatched, you don't start with a lift hill. No. Instead, you begin rumbling down the hillside. Thunderation Station is located atop the hill, and it's one of the highest points in the ride, so you have a lot of potential energy from the start and immediately jump right into the action. And you can't really see what's coming because the hill is densely wooded. The one exception is if you ride during an old-time Christmas, when the trees are naked and more of the layout is exposed, but it's still hard to see what's coming. Thunderation's setting is the ride's biggest strength. Thunderation's first half doesn't have any major drops. It is a gradual and constant descent as you carve your way down the hill. The first 2 turns gently build up speed, but from there, Thunderation really starts getting wilder. This leads into a fast and forceful helix. The decent positive Gs combined with the mounting speed make this element quite wild. However, this is when the ride's biggest weakness rears its ugly head, as it also has quite a few bumps along the way. The helix culminates in a tunnel that further amplifies the coaster's sense of speed. When you emerge into the daylight, you coast over a speed hill that gives some surprising and very faint floater airtime throughout the whole train. And then you dive further down the hillside, and this is where I believe you reach the coaster's max speed of 48 miles per hour or 77 kilometers per hour. But it feels way faster than that. You rip around a high speed, low turn, and it feels like Thunderation will tear itself apart. And actually, it kinda might. This is the one section I saw Silver Dollar City performing some track work on after my visit, so it is definitely a high stress spot and the park is aware of that. Hopefully that work will have it riding smoother in future visits, because it was easily the bumpiest part of the ride. You then climb up the hill ever so slightly and level off, giving front row riders another tiny pop of airtime. You then round a slow turn and hit the brakes very hard. You then pass through a small shed and then climb up the ride's lone lift hill. Because you start atop the hill, it's no surprise there's a lift hill towards the end of the ride. But it isn't at the very end. Unlike a ride like Ninja at Six Flags Magic Mountain or Adventure Express at Kings Island that have nothing after the final lift hill, Thunderation has one last trick up its sleeve. The lift hill is 121 feet or 37 meters in height. This actually brings you above the station. Atop this hill, you turn to the left and then travel down the ride's largest drop, a twisted 81 foot or 25 meter tall plunge back down the hillside. And you cannot see this drop coming because of how many trees there are on the hillside. The element is completely hidden both on and off ride, and I had no clue this drop even existed before my first ride. The drop rapidly builds up speed and pulls some solid G's at the bottom, while also giving the ride its final few bumps. You then rise back up the hillside and turn to the right at the top, and this turn is unbanked, so it offers some weak laterals throughout the whole train. You then hit the brake run, ending the 3,022 foot or 921 meter long ride. One additional tip is to try to get a night ride in this coaster. All of Silver Dollar City's coasters give excellent night rides because of their isolated settings, and Thunderation is no different. It is pitch black. Outside of the tunnels, ironically enough, those are lit. So what would I rate Thunderation? I would give this mine train a 5 out of 10. Because of how bumpy it is, I think it's a middling mine train. If it were smooth, I think Thunderation would easily be a top tier mine train. The ride has a great sense of speed, a very unique layout, and a fantastic setting. So it's still an enjoyable coaster, albeit a flawed one. It's just not one I like to re-ride too often. I think this is probably the weakest of Silver Dollar City's adult coasters because of the shakiness, but it still complements the park's other coasters well, nearly 3 decades after it originally opened. So those are my thoughts on Thunderation, the mine train at Silver Dollar City. Have you been on this coaster? How do you think it compares to the other mine trains out there? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.